From the John Nevada Broadcast Center, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Paranormal Radio with Bob Trzeciak on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network and Jack FM 89.7 WRHS FM Lords on Thursday, May the 24th, the year 2018. So sit back and enjoy Paranormal Radio. And now, here is the king of Paranormal Radio, the one and only, Mr. Bob Trzeciak.
It's getting, you're adding more to it. Now I'm the king of, now I'm the one and only also too. I suppose everybody is a one and only. There's no two of any of us. Thank you very much, John, for the introduction there. Always have a lot of fun with that. We are back. We've had a little bit of a break here because the last show we did was April 2nd. So it seems like, when you do a show very early in the month, by the time the next month rolls around, it seems like you're away for so long. But we did actually a live, well, not live, it was a taped broadcast from a location. We were at the Irish Legends. We were over there, and thank you to all the folks over at Irish Legends for being so nice to us and hosting that event and doing a great job with that. And I'm actually going to go back there in June 13th, I'm going to go back there and do some palm readings with them and that. So they're a nice bunch of folks to work with. I've been in contact with them. Just a couple of announcements and some thank yous for some people and things I want to do before we announce our guests for tonight. Thanks to everybody from Elsip Park District, the Apollo Park District, came out for the Rose Hill Tour Saturday. That was great. Thank you, folks. We had a real good time with that. Nice bunch of people, great folks to be with, so thank you very much for that one. The folks at the Gathering Lighthouse, thank you very much for that. They hosted an event for me last Thursday. Very nice. We are also going to be at the Gathering Lighthouse doing another tape broadcast from a location there. That will be in July. On July 17th, we'll be over there doing that one. PC Paranormal, Mr. Phil Dankowski with that. Thank you, Phil, for letting me come on your Facebook Live event there. Yesterday we were at Resurrection Cemetery with that one. Phil's doing some good stuff with that, and I've been just partnering up with Phil with some events and things, and you'll be hearing more from him. The folks at Graveside Paranormal, they did their Bachelor's Grove event with the Natural Law with the bar over the weekend there, and I kind of joined them for one or two of their tours. No, well, just one. By the time I got there, they were already coming down the path, and then I hopped on the bus with them, and then we came back again. So thank you to Steve, Neil, Tommy, Mike. I don't know who I missed on their team. Thank you to all of them folks for their doing a good job with that and letting me be a part of that. They're always a fun bunch to be around. Okay, next when we do that next show in June, no, that won't be the next one. Next one in June, actually, what I forgot to announce, we're going to be doing 2 shows in June. Something I've never done before. We're going to do one show on the paranormal, and that's the one where Pete Crapia is going to come back on. I've had Pete on a couple of times already. He's a great guest. I like Pete for his openness and his candidness about things, and he pulls no punches, no holds barred with Pete when he comes on the show. That's kind of why I got to get him on here by himself, because I don't want to do a Jerry Springer show with anybody else on with Pete. So he's great. I like Pete a lot as a guest. He has always had interesting stuff to say. So he's going to come on, do a show for us in June. And then the following week, I'm doing another show, entirely different. Absolutely nothing to do with the paranormal. This has to do with drug abuse, with heroin addiction and drug abuse. Saw a presentation, went to a presentation at the library, and a lady was there, and I forget, for the life of me, I should have had her name with me, but I forget what her name is, and she did a presentation there all about heroin addiction and heroin abuse, and she's really a big advocate for this, because she's had some family that were kind of hooked on this, and she goes around and does a lot of talks about this, and preaching about the evils of it. And then also, too, participating in the audience at this event was a man that is a heroin addict right now. He is kind of, right now, an addict, and he had some things to say about it. And then there was another gentleman that's a recovering addict. He's kind of in recovery from it. And I asked them all to come and do a radio show. So they're going to come on in June and do that show for us too. So that's kind of neat. I felt that was something, a worthwhile thing mentioning, and something to do. If you know Paranormal Radio, if you watch it, from time to time I kind of break the mold a little bit, and I'll do some other things. We get some singers and musicians and some other people on from time to time and that, and we like to do that. I like to try to, if it's, whoever listens to the show, if it promotes them in any kind of a way, that's what we like to do with the show. Like to give everybody a chance to say what they have to say. So much for that. So watch out for some of these events. We'll be putting them up on Facebook and that as we get closer to it. Okay, tonight we have a repeat Paranormal Radio guest, Mr. Dave Olson.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Good. Thank you for coming on, Dave. It's always, like I said, you always come on anytime you want to. And then Dave brought a friend with him, Mr. Matthew Perry.
Hey, Bob. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you. Now, you are a new member of the team, right?
What, 2 years? Or?
5 years,
Oh, 5
probably.
years.
I
Okay.
lost track.
I know. It's five, maybe 6.
And what is the team's name?
Chicago Paranormal Investigators.
Oh, that's original. Okay,
Yeah.
Chicago Paranormal Investigators. Okay, I don't know. I had to even ask this one. I should know. Chicago Paranormal Investigators, and
The one and only.
yeah, and this is Dave's little baby. He's kind of the one in charge of this.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many members do you have right now currently, Dave?
Just a handful. We keep it small just because we do a lot of residential investigations.
Yeah,
and
okay, it makes sense. I think small groups are a little better anyway. Yeah, even when I do tours, I like to do small groups. I think I'm
Right.
much better with 10 or 15 people than I am with 20 or 30. I like to do that. It's a little more hands-on and a little more controlled.
And then we have a few, part-timers that fill in when, regulars can't make it due to work
Oh, that's
or
good.
vacations.
And that works out nice for some people, because
Right.
some people don't want to do this, they just want to do it occasionally. And that's kind of a good thing, too, for them. So that gives them an opportunity to do that. So what's the hot thing for you guys lately these days? Where are some of the good investigations and some good stuff going on? You get real good results. Before we did the show today, Dave was showing me some of his photos that he's got on his laptop, which of course we can't use on radio because they're photographs. But he gets some good results.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. Since I started this, at least a handful of full-bodied apparitions. I still can't believe it, but a lot of these photos, I'll take to where I work my side job.
No, not you.
Oh, okay. To the photo lab department and have them look through it, and then times I'll send it to the original manufacturer of the cameras that did the upgrades and let them look at it, and I'll have roundtable discussions. And yeah, I've been very lucky.
Good. Okay, that's what we want to hear. Yeah, you've been very lucky. Part of it I think might be luck with you. Part of it I think might just be skill. You have the knack of knowing like where to be at the right time and the right spot and where to put the equipment.
You know what? I think it goes to being a little bit sensitive.
Yeah.
To this. So yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of things. Yeah, yeah. Now you've been with them. Well, you've been with them for some time, longer than I thought. I think you were kind of new to the group, Matt.
Yeah,
so
I
you
know. lost track, to be honest.
Yeah. So you've been with them for a while. So you've been on a lot of these investigations with them, right?
I would say most of them.
Okay.
I've missed a couple of them, but most of the big ones I've been on.
Okay, so you're around when all these things are happening and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys also get good, not only results with the camera visuals, you get some good voice recordings too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I go through them. Oh, I can't tell you. It takes me. I just won't take one as an EVP. I'll match it up with everything we have, every single camera we have going, see where everyone is, to every other voice recorder we have going, and I'll match everything before I put it out there.
What I like about you is you seem to work not only with the equipment, also with a medium. And then you're kind of a sensitive yourself too with this. So I like that because it seems like so many of the groups now like to work with the electronic gadgets and the voice recordings and EVPs and all that. But as far as like an actual medium, they don't really have a medium with them. And I like that idea that you have that. Do you find you get better results with the medium or with the electronic devices?
You know what? I have to say, I think we get good results with the mediums because they let us know where they're feeling stuff. And, at times while we're setting up all the equipment, we'll do a walkthrough with them and they say, Dave, I'm really feeling something in this room, or don't waste your time here. So we'll try to hit all the hot spots that they recommend. And then everything else we'll just save for when we go portable, and do the walkthrough.
Yeah.
But, I wish I had a medium every single investigation, but one lives 4 hours away. The other one just moved to Arizona, and her business is good here, so she's going to fly in.
Who's your Arizona medium?
Susan,
That's That's all right. Don't
No,
worry about
give me,
it.
wait, no, give me
I
a
don't know. I don't know
second,
Sue anyway, but I had somebody else
yeah.
in mind that's an Arizona person, but it's
Why
not
can't I think of her
Susan.
name?
Roland?
Roland. Thank you very
Susan
much.
Rowland. Oh yeah, she's the one that
gonna
does.
kill me.
She does like a
Yeah,
radio
it's gonna
thing or
kill
something, doesn't she? Do a
Yeah,
radio
she's
show?
been on TV.
Yeah.
She's been on Windy City Live.
Yes,
and-
I found that when I went on when I looked on your Facebook page, I found her name pop up on there. So yeah, okay, so we hear her. She's
yeah,
around.
she's very talented.
Yeah, she's around. We're going to bring somebody else into the conversation now too. We have with us via phone. I guess he's up in Waukegan, so Rich was unable to come into the studio, but we got him on phone. And this is Mr. Rich Hale. Rich, hi, are you there?
Hi, yeah, hi. It's Rick. Sorry.
Oh, Rick, I'm sorry. I put Rich on the thing. I can't read my own writing here. So Rick Hale. Okay. Hale, the gang's all here. No, you're only one, so you're not a gang. Let me read a little bit about Rick. I have never met Rick. I've contacted him through Facebook. We've conversed that way, but I've never met him face to face. So this is kind of a first meeting for me too. We're actually talking in person here as opposed to just typing back and forth. Just a little bit of his biography, some of the stuff that he does. Rick Hale, a Chicago native. He's been in pursuit of the unknown for his entire life. You haven't. That's kind of a lie. You haven't been for your entire life because you're still with us. You haven't passed away yet. So your whole life's not over yet. So Rick is also the author of Geek's Guide to the Strange and the Unusual, Poltergeists, Ghosts, Demons, and Behold, Shocking True Tales of Terror and Some Other Spooky Stuff. Sounds like you like kind of a humorous touch to some of the things that you write.
I try to keep the titles humorous because I think that that will attract people rather than being, serious.
I'm glad to hear that from you, so that means I'm on the right track, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm working on a book right now. I don't know how far this is going to go. I've never written a book. I've never had anything published, never done that, but I'm doing pretty good at this, and I'm getting some encouragement from some people. And same thing with me. I've got all humorous titles and humorous chapter titles, too. Okay, let me finish your biography here. Rich, you've also been published by Paranormal Underground magazine. Now, is that, we were talking about that earlier. I mentioned that to Dave and to Matt here, and I'm sorry to say we haven't heard of it. Not that I know everything. I've never heard of that magazine. Is it like an internet magazine type thing?
Yeah, it's paranormalunderground.net.
Gotcha,
And
okay.
It's been around for about 10, 12 years now or so.
Oh, well, I've been around for 60, but like I said, I still never heard it. Anyway, okay, the supernatural, but like I said, I don't know everything. There's a lot of things out there I'm not aware of, so, okay, the Supernatural magazines, and you've been on other online, so it's an online publication. You've also been featured in Ghost Tapes 2 and several episodes of Ghost Tapes the series. You didn't make it quite there for one. You missed one, but you made it on Ghost Tapes 2.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly is Ghost Tapes?
Ghost Tapes 2, it was put together by a filmmaker named Luke Millett. He now lives out in Colorado.
Okay.
But yeah, with him it happened kind of by accident. I knew he was from the area, and I had invited him to accompany myself and the psychic medium that I was working with at the time. Her name was Nancy Laporta, to go to a house investigation. And he accepted. He showed up and had me fill out a bunch of paperwork and was like, "Oh, you want to be in a documentary, don't you?" I'm like, "That's not why I invited you here, but sure, why not?"
It's kind of nice when these things happen accidentally. Hopefully you were dressed nice, you had your hair done, and everything, you looked presentable.
Always professional on occasion.
Yeah, because you never know when these things are going to happen. That's I was just telling Dave, our guest tonight, because Dave, when he comes to the studio, he likes to set his, which other folks have done that too, they set their camera up and they like to videotape their appearance here in the studio and that, which is wonderful. I think that's a great thing. It's good publicity for them, it's good publicity for us, and it makes for a nice souvenir. But I said, I got to start dressing a little better. I always forget that, because I think we're on radio, so I don't have to dress up. I could just wear a crummy t-shirt and some sweatpants or something. I'm fine.
At least you
But
have
yeah,
Or really nothing at all.
yeah. Because sometimes I'm seen on these things too, so yeah. So that's it. Okay, Rich, do you know, I don't know if you know Dave Olson, who's with us tonight?
I don't. Hi, Dave.
Hey, nice to meet you.
And then Mr. Matt Perry's here also too.
Hey, Rick.
Matt, okay. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Excellent.
Good. So now, do you have a team yourself, Rick, or no? You just more an individual?
When I tell people my team name, I go by Foundation Psychical Research. I keep it kind of on an old-fashioned edge.
Foundation. What was that? Foundation Psychological Research?
Foundation Psychical.
Psychic. Oh, is that a word?
Well, it's what parapsychologists call themselves before they called themselves parapsychologists.
Ah, gotcha, okay.
Yeah, they call themselves.
Were you aware of this?
No.
No, I wasn't either. Yes, I'm
I
learning
learn
something
something every
new.
day.
Yeah,
Yep.
psychical. I didn't even know psychical was a word. I think we...
Well,
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good. Well, you have the Society for Psychical Research
Uh-huh.
in Great Britain, and you used to have the American Society for Psychical Research. And since my education, no, I shouldn't really use the word education, but, since my research is always kind of geared more towards parapsychology rather than, pop ghost hunting, I guess you could say. I can't really call myself a parapsychologist because I don't have an advanced degree in something that's related to that, so I use a much more older term of psychical research. But I don't really have a team at the moment. When I went through cancer and all that, I had to kind of put that stuff off to the side so I could get myself better.
Oh, I see. You had some health issues there. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear you're better. Okay, great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, glad to hear that.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can find, good, quality people that are trustworthy, that believe in professionalism, and know what they're doing and know what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them out there. There really are. You have to do a little looking for that. The gentleman that we've got here on with us tonight, case in point, no doubt about it. They're very serious investigators, very sincere about what they do, and they do it with good results. And
Thank you.
that's kind of people we like to see around. I've always said this, and will continue to say it, is that parapsychology, of course, is recognized as a science. Paranormal, as of yet, is not. I think down the line, time to come, paranormal will be recognized as an actual science, an actual study where you're able to get degrees on this. I went up online today, and just for the fun of it, I was punching up paranormal investigating, getting certified in the paranormal. And there are like a whole slew of people, I know, there's a whole slew of people out there that will certify you. You send them the $59 and you can take these online courses and you get a little certificate that certifies you. I don't know, not to discredit anybody or anything, but I don't know if this is exactly the way I'd want to go about doing it.
I think I just got a new website idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're out there with that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I look at those websites, I kind of just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And, it's not something that I would be interested in. And you also got the one too that's like, become a demonologist in 6 months. Like, oh my God, no, that's not how it works. But all right, it's your jam, man. So have at it.
Yeah, and I often wonder, is this something that can actually be taught? Can you teach someone to be a demonologist, or is it just like a gift? Just like psychic abilities. Well, some psychic abilities can be developed, but sometimes I think it's people have it or they don't. And some people could be taught maybe to take it the next level up. Other ones I don't know. Yeah. Dave has gotten some very good results just to kind of change the... Oh, I'm sorry, you had something to add to that.
I was just going to say, the word demonology is kind of a misnomer. In the Catholic Church, it's actually called angelology. Demonology was a occult science back in the Middle Ages about it belonged up there, in black magic with necromancy, and people just sort of have globbed onto the term demonology because of the trendiness of it.
Oh, is that what it was?
So,
I thought demonology referred to all the nuns that taught me when I went to Catholic parochial school. I thought that was demonology. Yeah. If you ever went through that experience, you know what I'm talking about. Whole different experience now, but 50, 60 years ago it was quite different. Dave has gotten some very good results in his research and his stuff that he does with his team, with Matt and whoever else he has that joins him on his team. And he's kind of picky about his people. He doesn't just allow anybody in there because he's a very serious person about this too. And well, go ahead, Dave. Tell him a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? Before I take someone full time on the team, I'm a police officer for Chicago, and Matt's a fireman. So I take it really serious. If I don't trust him in my own house, I'm not going to put him in someone else's house, and the liability of that. And last thing I want is a criminal or something. I don't want to destroy someone's house and make it worse. So I take it very serious, and on who's on the team, and I really got to be able to trust them in my own house if I'm going to put them in someone else's house.
What about you, Rick? Any criminal record for you, or what? Since I really don't know you,
People
out there make mistakes, but
we can find out. I've got a police officer sitting right here. We can do a check on you. So
you know what? You can check on me all you want. I am clean cleaner than a preacher's sheet.
That's what I said too. I said I'd be so boring they'd find nothing on me. So
But Dave, I really like that approach because our job as ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, psychologists, whatever you want to call it, our job is not to scare people unnecessarily.
Exactly.
But it's to educate them and enlighten them that what they're dealing with is not necessarily a bad thing. And I tell people that this kind of research and this kind of investigation is for the most serious of minds. And I totally dig what you're saying there.
Yeah, no, I feel wholeheartedly, when it comes to that. It's very important to me.
that's good. I'm glad we got 3 people, 4 people actually, if you include myself in this group, that are all kind of thinking the same way. Matt,
Yes.
we haven't had too much to say here. We got to get you in the conversation. What brought you into the paranormal? How did you start getting involved in this?
I was always interested in it, starting with, actually probably more so with all the popularity of the TV shows.
Oh boy, you're one of them. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I always had, until it was more kind of mainstream, and then I started really thinking that I'd like to get involved in it or some way or another, and I met Dave on kind of accident.
It's kind of weird how we met.
I was out, like you said, I'm a fireman for Chicago. We were out shaking the boot and collecting money for one charity or another. I can't remember what it was. And Dave drives up with his blue command center ambulance, and he had a police shirt on. So I asked him what he did, and kind of long story short, later on I sent him an email. He got back to me, and I don't know, within a few months I was probably going on an investigation with him. So it was kind of funny how it happened, but I kind of came into the whole thing more skeptical, and take everything with a grain of salt.
Which is needed.
Yeah, until I actually see a couple different pieces of evidence all kind of proving the same thing. So, but since I've been on the team, I've seen we've gotten some interesting results, which still skeptical, but
So it's encouraging, and it's something
yeah.
that you want to do further and take to the next level. because you're-
Absolutely.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
great.
something just kind of keeps
Good.
you.
I'm glad that the shows, see, for you now, they served a good purpose. So, see, these shows aren't all bad. These ghost hunter shows and things. People ask me this all the time, do I watch them? And no, I don't. I do catch them occasionally, glimpse them here and there, and I have nothing against them. I have a very good reason for not watching them, that being I just don't have cable. And 90% of these are all on cable TV, so I just don't get to see them. But when I have caught them and stuff like that, they're kind of okay in that. But I always tell people, please don't misunderstand. You're not going to go out and in 1 hour's time get all this great stuff. And a lot of the stuff that they do on these shows is actually set up for the show too. So what you're seeing often is
Correct.
not real. But if it does, like someone like yourself, Matt, you watched us, you got interested in it through that. So if it does bring somebody into it and it gets them interested in it, that's okay. That's a good thing. Just so they're not misled though by the show. So you've been doing the investigation, so you see what's involved and see how it actually goes. So yeah, Rick. What brought you into the paranormal? Let's go back to the beginning with you, or it just was something that was always around you.
Yeah, when I was 8 years old, I grew up. Sorry, my wife was talking to me. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I grew up between my parents were divorced, so I grew up between Lake County and the northwest side of Chicago, and my grandparents lived in Franklin Park on Belmont Avenue, kind of like right across the street from the swimming pool, but the building's no longer there. So a little background there. But when I was 8 years old in 1982, I witnessed and interacted with an apparition in my grandparents' home.
Okay.
And we all knew that the house was haunted. Pretty much everybody has had some experience with, and we knew who it was. It was Mrs. McNett. Everybody had an experience with Mrs. McNett. She was
I know her. No, I'm joking.
of the owner of the building. She had died about 15 years previous to that. And but as far as I know, my grandmother and I are the only two people that have ever actually seen her.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, see, it was kind of the same thing with me. A lot of experiences and things I had that, I just had no explanation for things happening like that. And then what was really a big thing for me getting into it was my brother Ray. Way back, like 1970, 71, he took a parapsychology class, sort of like a fill-in for a degree he was working on out at the university. He took a parapsychology class, and he would drag me around, and we would, research these things. Went to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, Resurrection Mary, all these things. I grew up with this. Probably one of the first ghost stories I heard was Resurrection Mary from my parents, mother and father and neighbors, because I lived in the Summit Argo area, not too far from Resurrection Cemetery, and so it was like one of the first stories I said. So then later on, as I got older, I started looking into these things and investigating and taking it to the next level. Is there any basis to these stories? What's the urban legends, what's true, what's not true? So that's kind of what did it for me that way. And then some experiences myself, things I just could not explain. And same thing with me too. The home I lived in Summit, that I lived in for 58 years, up on the second floor, there was a ghost that I had up there, Mrs. Frosty, who I don't have legitimate actual proof that it is her, but I narrowed it down to her because she actually died up there. Because we used to have a little apartment up there we rented, and her husband lived up there, and over the Easter, on Holy Saturday, matter of fact, the one year, I remember she passed away up there, and occasionally when I'd be in the house there by myself, I would hear footsteps walking from the bathroom to the bedroom, back and forth, and I was always go up and check and see if I could see anything up there. Never could see hide nor hair of her, but I always heard her up there, so yeah, same type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, see, we've all had those experiences, so it all kind of drew us to it, yeah.
Yeah, with me, it was not that I saw anything, but I would feel, the feelings like I get now, but as a kid, I couldn't understand them, and I would hear disembodied voices, and I know I'm not going nuts, thank God, because now
Yeah.
I can get on recordings,
Yeah.
when I hear them, but I'd hear,
You might be a little nuts.
Well,
I would hear my name being called, and I remember waking up my mom and say, "Mom, I hear muffled conversations in the room. Could you sit down?"
well, you're a
and
medium
hear-"
yourself.
To be honest, I don't know what I am.
You're a medium. I think you're a medium, but you don't maybe, I don't know if you really recognize it, or you don't want to, maybe something's holding you back from actually saying, I'm not. Maybe you just say, yeah, that's what I'd say. I think he is too, because I think he's just saying he's sensitive to be polite, but I think you really are a medium.
Sometimes it really takes a hold on me. I wears my body out sometimes.
Yeah, that's a medium.
or
Yeah,
makes
it
me
can be
ill.
draining. Yeah, it can. Yeah, okay. What about you, Matt? Are you a medium, a large, or an extra large, or what?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
No, I don't think I don't have the feelings like the rest of some of our team does, and I've had experiences on investigations pushed, and not like Dave. Everybody likes to scratch Dave for some reason, and
Yeah,
He is nice. I'm not provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has this knack for being touched. Yeah, how do you feel about that? That's a good question to ask about provoking spirits on investigations.
I would never, especially in someone's house or business. The last thing I want to do is make things
You see,
worse.
that's what I agree wholeheartedly. And I can't tell you how many people I've had these paranormal teams on this show and privately talk with it at, and they say, "Oh yeah, just to get them going, we'll provoke them." And I says,
Well, if it's a prison,
such a good idea,
a jail or something like that, maybe even maybe a psych ward. Maybe we'll turn the pot a little bit. We usually bring I'll bring some uniform pieces, from old uniform shirts, nightstick, and like we were at the
Lake
Crown
County.
Point, Lake County Crown Point Jail, and that really got it going.
Okay, so it did work then.
Just
yeah.
hitting nightstick along the cells,
Oh,
and
maybe it's like a sound that they're something they would have recognized.
the handcuff
Oh, yeah.
sounds, and
Oh,
just maybe saying I'm the new boss here now. We're taking over, and we got some good reaction.
we were a little,
See, to me,
a
that's
little
a
less
little-
polite
yeah,
than
but
normal.
Otherwise, no one's. I'm never going to do that in someone's house.
yeah, I don't think I'd even do it over there. I think to me, I think that's a little bit kind of dangerous behavior. But I would, everybody different. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that's why you've been scratched and pulled and hit so much and all this.
When it happens, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
But the one that scared me, really got me nervous and thinking twice was when I went to Appleton, Wisconsin, walked in. It was a psychic medium's house, and something ripped me open on the left side of my face. 20 seconds after walking the house, and then it got me again about 2:30 in the morning. But that was burning, but it was welts that just formed in front of everyone's eyes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You ever had any experiences like that, Rick?
With provoking,
Yeah.
provoking is just not something that I think is a good idea.
Yeah, ditto for me. I just don't think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I tell a lot of people who are new to the field that when you do something like that, not only is it crude behavior, but you don't really know who you're dealing with. Take for example, you're in a house where they're seeing like a woman who's dressed in 18th century clothing, and like appears for a couple of minutes and then she disappears.
Right.
Now, if you go into that and you go into that investigation with guns blazing and you're using swear words and you're calling out, a woman from the Victorian era is not going to talk to you.
I agree.
Or if you have a child spirit, that child is going to like run away because, I mean, let's face it, that's child abuse.
Okay, yeah, well, I see your point, and I kind of agree with it wholeheartedly. Now, everybody has their own methods and their own way they like to do things, and if they like to just use this on certain occasions or whatever, okay, fine, everybody to their own, each to their own. I mean, there's a lot of them out there doing this, but myself, I kind of tend to agree, no, that you don't. That's something I would not want to do. I wouldn't talk to a person that way, disrespectfully, let alone to anyone else. But some people feel that's what they have to do to get results. So we're going to take a break, John.
Yes.
Okay, we have to stop for just a moment, gentlemen, and take a break. It's very quick. It's only about a half a second. We'll be right back. Please come back with us and listen to the rest of Paranormal Radio.